Sup, dudes? I'm Nate Heater,
And I'm Frank Lamantia.
and we are the Sup Dudes. Coming at you from a actually better lit car,
Yes.
still in a parking lot, still at a movie theater, and we all know what that means. Say it with me, everyone. Movie review time. I think we need like a little graphic.
Maybe.
That about now be like, just like movie. Like, it'll come
I
eventually.
think we should spice it up a bit.
Pretty soon we'll get a theme song and we'll get an intro and everything.
Okay.
And we just saw Godzilla versus Kong. I'm making sure I'm putting them in the right order instead of saying Kong versus Godzilla. It's Godzilla versus Kong. And what I can say is, great movie.
Okay.
I'll say it with a straight face because Frank doesn't believe me.
Yeah, nah, this was not a happy event for me.
All right, then you go first.
As a matter of fact, I think this was one of the most ridiculous collections of nonsensical crap I have ever seen in my life. One of the collections. Because I've seen some pretty crappy movies. But,
Actually, before you keep going on,
yes.
It's harder. We usually give a synopsis at this point.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to give a synopsis without ruining the movie.
Yeah, it's like...
So it's just like, if you haven't seen Godzilla King of Monsters and King Kong Skull Island, you need to watch those because they reference back to them.
I don't think it'll help.
And
it might help make sense of the story, but
yeah,
it's not going to help make this movie any better.
Long story short, basically, Godzilla is attacking again. Nobody knows why, so they recruit Kong to try to stop him, and then the rest of the movie, because we don't want to ruin anything else.
Should I say anything about where Kong was living at the time?
I mean,
is that going to ruin it?
No, at the end of Skull Island, they reveal where he's at.
Like Truman, like the Truman story. Was it the Truman story?
I don't know.
The kind of like in his own little bubble.
Yeah, but at the end of Skull Island is when they really...
Okay, so they cover that. All right, so
basically,
yeah. Sorry, now we ruined the end of Skull Island for you.
Yeah, whatever.
But I mean,
one more quick thing.
If you're into these movies, nothing's gonna hurt it for you anyway. But
one more quick thing I want to say.
Go ahead.
Stars Millie Bobby Brown, as everyone basically knows her from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And it stars, I don't know if you knew this, Alexander Skarsgård.
It did?
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't paying attention to the stars on this.
Alexander Skarsgård. If you don't know who that is, he is, I hate to say that this is what I only know him as. He is the brother of Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise in the more recent It movies.
Okay.
All right, so I wanted to get that.
What else he was in?
I don't know what else he was in.
Maybe we'll throw it up.
I just wanted to get those out of the way before you went on your goodies and bads.
That's okay. That's okay.
We got the formalities out of the way.
I mean, as a kid, I used to watch, the Kong movies and the Godzilla movies. Well, they weren't Kong movies, really. They were Godzilla movies. There was only one Kong movie at the time. And then they had some Godzilla movies, and then Godzilla and Mothra and all that stuff. And I loved it as a kid because it was crazy, and then, Tokyo keeps getting destroyed. But not that I like Tokyo being destroyed, but, as a kid, you like to see all that action and destruction. And
this movie was Hong Kong, so.
Yeah, this movie was Hong Kong. Don't know why. But,
Tokyo had enough of it. They wanted to move to Hong Kong.
But, anyway, I didn't like it. I just thought it was one ridiculous scene after another. The dialogue was ridiculous. The acting was horrible. All the mugging and the different faces were terrible. There were like 9,000 different accents. Not that I have anything against accents, but again, with the understanding the lines, this time it was not my hearing because I heard everything. It was just like either mumbling or, and I've said this before, the background noise is very prominent, but then the dialogue is like buried under it. You don't hear it. You don't. I don't know. It's just ridiculous to me that they can't get that right. I'd rather hear someone speaking than hearing like a messed up control panel crackling in the background, the electricity crackling in the background. All right, it's a nice touch to hear that and stuff, but I want to hear the dialogue. It's ridiculous. Anyway, enough with the rant. I didn't like it. End of story. Nothing really good.
I can't believe it.
Some of the CGI was really good. But then, later on, it's kind of like tanked. I don't know. But that's it. I didn't like it.
Well, I'm gonna say almost. I want to say almost all the opposite. I actually really enjoyed this movie. This is actually my second time watching this movie.
Yes.
I saw it on my phone the first time.
Yeah, because I didn't want to see it.
No, you didn't want to see it
He
at
decided
first.
to watch it on his own, and
Exactly.
I wish it would have stayed that way. But
And well, you were the one that picked this one.
well, only because there wasn't really too many choices. I figured we may as well. It's a popular movie. Let's do it. But I didn't like it.
So yeah, like I said, second time watching it. First time was on my phone, small screen. I think this movie needed to be seen on a big screen,
No, that's
so
for sure. Yeah.
I was willing to go watch the movie again, and I liked it both times. I don't care a lot about the dialogue in this movie, only because I'm there to watch King Kong face Godzilla in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't care less about any of the actors, really. I couldn't care less about any of the dialogue that was said. The whole point of the movie is to have two of the biggest monsters,
Titans, as they
the
call
Titans, two of the biggest monsters / Titans / whatever without Denzel Washington, to fight each other.
All right.
What?
Go ahead. Nothing. Go ahead.
Two of the biggest Titans to fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole point of the movie, and that's what I liked. CGI was amazing. They made the fight so that it wasn't all just one-sided. Had a couple rounds, I would say. I would say it would have like 2 rounds. I would want
2 or
to
3.
2 or 3, something like that. And like I said, I loved that they made it like they didn't make it one-sided. Like I said, I loved how it went back and forth. They had their strengths, they had their weaknesses, and I know I just saw your reaction.
Another illogical piece there for me, but yeah.
Yeah, he's all about like Godzilla has like his nuclear blast. I think what it's called. If not, I'll correct it.
He has this laser beam coming out of whatever the hell it is, coming out of his mouth, and I mean,
But Kong is.
I don't care how fast and agile Kong is. You get a good shot with that, he should be burnt up. That's it. I don't understand.
But if he's slow with the shot, it doesn't matter. Kong's gonna avoid it.
He was doing a pretty. Well, I almost ruined one part of the scene, but he can sustain a pretty prolonged blast. So, I mean, I know it's a movie and it's all fake anyway, but it has to have some logic to it for me. That's all. All right. Enough. Go ahead.
Honestly, there's not really, like I said, not too much. I don't want to say there's not too much bad. I mean, it wasn't like a fantastic, outstanding movie. Like I said, I couldn't care less about. I gotta say the right words because we have Frank over here who corrects me on everything. So I couldn't care less about the acting. I couldn't care less about the dialogue. I'm there to see King Kong fight Godzilla. I got what I wanted. Great CGI, great fights. End of story, as some people would say.
All right. I mean, I didn't even like the fight scenes, but we won't go there. Go ahead.
Quick here. Something new to the substitutes. I just thought of it now. Why don't we have Robert throwing his 2 cents right about now?
We could.
We'll have a good friend of ours, Robert Barapopa, which you've probably seen him on the Facebook videos that we have, Magic Moments.
Yeah, he's doing Magic Moments for us.
He saw King Kong versus Godzilla versus Kong. And why don't we just throw his opinion in there?
Yeah, he did have an opinion about it before we saw it.
What do we say? We cut the Robert?
Sure.
All right.
All right, so listen to our buddy Robert for a couple minutes there.
Robert, you're on. Thanks, Robert. Like I said, that was our good buddy Robert. Like I said, I just thought of it now only because he saw it. We had a big talk about it at Mingus the one day. So I figured, why not? It's like he was like one of the only people that saw a movie before we as a substitute saw it together.
Right.
So why not try something new? You know
He's
what I'm saying?
one of the few people whose opinion we
really care
hold in
about.
high regard.
Yeah, so I mean,
Just kidding.
with that being said, I mean this video's probably been going on long enough, so let's jump into the scoring.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have you go first.
You sure you want me to go?
I'm gonna have you go first because I want to
right.
bring up the score.
Now, I was very, very, very tempted to give it a goose egg. Big fat 0. But I did say that some of the CGI was fairly decent, so I'm going to give it a 1.
Hold on.
A 1.
Hold on.
A 1.
Hold on.
What?
You gave Wonder Woman 84 a worse rating than this.
No, this is a worse rating.
I'm saying you gave this a worse rating than Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, what did I give him, a 2?
I think you gave Wonder Woman a 2.
No, 2.5, I think. I gave 2 to Boogie
Well-
for New York.
Well,
New York.
so you're gonna say
Because Wonder Woman had the competition on the Amazonian island, which was fairly cool. That's why I gave it a couple points. But
and then what about Boogie? You gave Boogie a better score than this.
well, I gave it a 2 for New York, New York.
So you're gonna sit there and tell me. I promise I'll get to my score in a little bit. But you're gonna sit there and tell me
Yes.
that you rated The Nun, Shortcut.
But we didn't rate the Nun.
We rated it before the Subdudes. The Nun, Shortcut, and Empty Man. You're gonna say we're all better than Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes. Even though they were horrible too. But this one just upset me from the very first scene.
I'm honestly tempted just to give this movie a 10 out of 10, just to bump up the average.
Well, I told you to be prepared to get it cut in half. I was ready to give it a 0.
But I gotta give it integrity. I gotta give my actual score.
Yes.
I'll give it a 7.5.
Okay.
So at this point, here's our average score, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what it really should have been. And like with somebody giving it a 1,
No, it's not good. It's not a good movie.
this should have been the actual score right there. What was that?
Pulling it down off the screen.
Oh, you're gonna have to make me edit that now?
You don't have to.
Well, whatever.
Don't worry if he doesn't do it.
Erasing
I
it.
already said okay.
Alright, so do we recommend this movie? I know what Frank's gonna say.
I think this is the first time we really diverged a lot. You know, there were most of the movies we saw. I think all the movies we saw together, we had similar, even though the
scoring
scores
didn't show it?
were a little bit apart. We generally said whether they were pretty decent or not. This one we actually diverged a lot. He
Yeah.
really liked it. I really hated it.
I say, while it's still in the theaters, depending on when this video comes out,
Mhm.
get to a movie theater and watch these two titans fight each other on a big screen. If not, if you have a big screen at your house, watch it there. If you don't, go to a friend's house that has a big TV, watch it there. If not, we're not condoning breaking into someone's house and watching it there, but we can't say anything.
Well, if you live in Reading, you can actually just stand on the sidewalk and see the TV through the
And look into
window.
it, yeah.
I mean, I've seen that. People have their TVs going and their windows open. So,
All right, well,
all right.
this video's been long enough. So with that being said, I'm Nate Heater,
And I'm Frank Lamontia.
and we are the Subdudes.
Subdudes.
So long. Really? A 1?
So long.
A 1?
Really? You're lucky
Really?
you got that high.